USA or Portugal?
Portugal. Winner, winner. You bet.
When did you start calling yourself a mermaid? Like you put your name as mermaid?
Get in the water and you swim around with fins, just with fins on your feet. And you show them you can swim and you can swim with fins.
Here is a rapid fire round, which you will have 5 seconds for each question that I ask you. It will be like a black and white kind of a question, like yes or no, or this or that.
Okay.
Uh, right. So I am not putting the timer on, but it's like just 5 seconds for you to decide. There you go. The first one is meditation or party.
Party.
Good one. Uh, Travel with technology in today's world, or when the technology was less in the old, not accessible,
Travel with technology.
right?
Seymour.
Right. Solo traveling or group traveling?
Both.
Okay.
One then
Okay.
the other, one the other. Trade off.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, Recruitment job or the service jobs that you've done in the past, or the entrepreneur or a businesswoman life in recent years?
Entrepreneur. Definitely entrepreneur.
I think you're enjoying the life. Clearly, with your face goes like glows and brightens up. That's definitely sure you're enjoying your life. USA or Portugal?
Portugal. Winner, winner. You bet.
A normal drink like a smoothie or a normal juice against gin, rum, spirits.
Oh, I like fruity, punchy, rummy drinks that taste like
Oh, mix
oranges,
of.
oranges, limes, and things with a little rum.
Right. How was it for you? That was the end of the rapid fire for you.
Right,
Good.
right, yes.
Right. Let's go back to the things that we were discussing around your journey, your travel experiences, and your life. Uh,
Mhm.
when did you start calling yourself a mermaid? Like you put your name as mermaid. I think you've had a big career of your swimming, and you've been with the water almost whole of your life. When did you actually think, yeah, the mermaid is the name that I want to be? Is it your nickname, by the way? I wanted to
No,
ask. No?
it's not a nickname, not at all. And people regularly ask me, "It's like, what's with the mermaid thing?" And so uh when I was, I think, like 59,
Uh-huh.
I find through the magic of Facebook, it appeared that there's a mermaid camp in
Okay.
Florida at this state park. It's so cool. Wickiwachi Springs State Park in Florida near Tampa.
Mhm.
And they have these one session a month for like 8 months of the year or something, not during hurricanes, not during the cold winter. And it's this natural hot spring where since the 40s or 1950s, something like this, um, people, women mostly, but also there's always, one or two men who have trained to become professional mermaids, and they put on a mermaid show there twice daily. Well, I didn't know anything about this. Florida's here, and I lived here. It's as far away as you can get. You can get. So I didn't know anything about it, and so but when I saw it, I was like, oh, I have to do that. So for my
Mhm.
60th birthday, my friend Patty and I flew down to Tampa, rented a car, stayed in the hotel, and spent the weekend at mermaid camp. And you have to be 30 years old, but you have to be like less than 70 or so. I forget. So anyway, I qualified. And so we went and we got a certificate that says certified mermaid. I'll send you a snap of it.
Right, yeah, that's nice to hear. I
Yeah,
haven't heard that concept that they give you a certificate back for being a mermaid. Is
yeah.
what exactly do you have to do to achieve something like that in life? What is it?
Well, so this natural spring. People think it's a hot spring. It's not a hot spring. It's a little chilly, and we
Hmm.
were there. We were there just like right now, in the month of April, 7 years ago. And at first, you get in the water. First, they talk about it, and they talk about the breathing and the safety, and they take pictures of you. So you're supposed to bring a bunch of jewelry. Luckily, I have a bunch of
Right.
jewelry, and they pose you up like a mermaid in this thing. Anyway, and then you get in the water and you swim around with fins, just with fins on your feet, and you show them you can swim, and you can swim with fins, and you can go down underwater and you can come back up again. The up again is really important. And and then you have lunch, and then they put on a mermaid tail, which has,
Do you wear all the gears like or is it just to go a little inside and come outside, or do you go deep inside at all?
yeah, well, deep is relative, like some people think, a meter is deep, but this would have been 4.5, 5 meters deep. Yes.
Right.
And with the fins, so the fins go inside the tail. So like the tail goes like that.
Like
You
that, and
fin in, or put fin in, then you put your feet in the fin, and then you wiggle it up over your back end, like a girdle, and
right.
goes up,
Yeah.
and then if you're young and cute, maybe you wear a bikini top, or you can wear a one piece, and,
Yeah.
then you slide in the water and you swim around with the fin. But you don't want to just be like all, you need to be smooth and slow, and
Like a mermaid.
yes, make it pretty, make it
Yeah,
pretty.
true, true. Yeah, coming on to, so what kind of accommodations do you prefer while you travel? Is it uh, a budget accommodation sometimes, a luxury accommodation? So what kind of we have spoken a little bit about that in last session. What do you think about it? What kind of accommodations, or is it always budget? Explain something about that.
So the short answer is it depends on who, and what it depends upon is who's paying. So if I've got if it's on my
Right.
bank account, yeah, moderate. I want a comfortable bed and a clean shower. I mean, that's all I need. I don't need a parlor, and this and a beautiful balcony or whatever. I don't need that, because I'm going to go someplace with a beautiful view. I'm okay. And most of the
Mhm.
time I spend in my room, hotel or otherwise, my eyes are closed. I'm sleeping, or
True.
I'm
Yeah.
like organizing and packing, or whatever. But most of the time my eyes are closed. So like whatever, as long as I'm comfortable in the bed and I can take a shower, I'm happy. And then usually that includes like the food. And I imagine we're
Oh.
going to talk about food, but I like street food. I like street tacos. I like, the first time I went to India, we went to Old Delhi, where my friend Vikramaditya, where
Mhm.
he knew of a place where they took water out of the spigot, the tap, that no one
Yeah.
should
Yeah.
do, and made it into, but then they fried it a lot. It got
Yeah.
hot,
Yeah. Yeah.
so it was
Is
safe. And
Have you
and
been to the street which is like very narrow and they do all the parathas?
yeah, that's where we were. That's it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been there, so that's
Sure.
nice. Yeah, you just don't need to look at the calories and just eat and enjoy.
No. But then also, when I was in Indonesia last time, in Jakarta, I was invited by my friends with them to attend a wedding. This was a very upscale wedding. So so we go, and I am the only like non-Indonesian person, non-Bahasa speaking person
Mhm.
there. in a bright pink dress because it's the only dress I had. Anyway, and there it was very upscale. Everybody was really fancy. But then for eating, they had all the stations where you go. Nice. But then they had an area roped off for the people of the inner circle, the inner sanctum. And you would go there and sit down. We did. I did. I felt weird being there because I didn't know the people. Anyway, and they served you, it was the same food, but it was very upscale, plus some other things. Like they brought lobster to me. They brought like stuff I would never, I see it on the menu and I go, next.
Yeah. Yeah, I always love street food. That's my go-to food, especially in a new country or in a new place wherever I travel. Just a related thing to that is, what's your planning duration when you are planning a vacation? Is it like 2 months in advance, 3 months, 6 months? Some people do it 1 year before we're gonna go these places. So what's your planning duration time like?
Usually a couple months. And as much as 9-10 months a year. So when I went to the Galapagos Islands in Ecuador, you have to book in advance, and I was with some friends. It was a group of friends. There were 6 of us. So for all of us to have the time to set aside all the things, get the reservation.
What's in your traveling kit? Can you remember 10 things that you will definitely take while you're traveling?
Okay. Well, I mean, obviously your toothbrush, deodorant, that sort of thing.
Yeah, too.
But you don't need it. You don't need a whole box of things. You need the 5-6 things you use every single day. That's all you need. If you need anything else, they've got it. You buy it. It's okay. Comfortable shoes for walking on any kind of terrain, as well as flip-flops. I just take my flip-flops. I always bring a swimsuit, even if I'm going someplace where it doesn't seem likely.
Okay.
It's easy.
Yeah.
What else do I always take? Something for rain.
Okay. 5 only, I'm counting.
Yes, that's 5?
Yeah.
Okay. Something for bugs, to keep the bugs off of you, even in winter. Yeah, because I've had mosquitoes in a hotel room when it's freezing outside, and mosquitoes love me just too much. Music, I always bring some tunes and a way to hear them.
That's nice. Yeah. 7.
And my phone, of course.
Yeah. 8.
Yeah. And whatever I need to make it work in the place where I am. I have a Google Fi card from America that I use when I travel outside of Portugal.
Right. Does it work all across the world, or
yeah,
it's pretty much, yeah.
As long as you've got internet, it'll work. Yes. Yep. Works in all the places.
Yeah, cool. It's almost 9-10 things that you've said. That's a good.
Well, there's one more thing that I take when I go someplace, because I am not vegetarian, and if I go someplace where the likelihood of non-veg doesn't seem high, I bring these little packs of tuna fish for protein. Because I personally have a dietary need to have extra protein because my body doesn't assimilate. I would have to eat many buckets of beans or something.
Right.
Yeah. So I take that and maybe some peanut butter.
Do you not take like a supplementation? They say these days that protein supplementations are there, even with, I think the vegetarian is like the isolates they give you from the milk. You can just take it as a powder.
Yeah.
They don't like it. Natural food is natural food. Right. There you go.
But I do a lot of dairy. I love cheese. Cheese is my desert island food. That's another reason I couldn't move to Costa Rica. They don't do cheese. Europe is all
right. Cheese. Okay. There is something interesting now. I don't know if you're up for it. Related to your traveling kit, are you inside your house right now, like where you live?
I'm on the patio right outside.
Right. So you've got 2 minutes. Have you got a suitcase somewhere where you take to travel?
Yes.
Can you bring it where you are sitting right now? I will switch on the timer. 2 minutes. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
Can you do it? Be ready.
Yep.
Here you go. Ready, steady, and go.
Okay. Here it is.
Oh my God.
This is my puppy suitcase. It's a carry-on.
Right.
Puppy on it with
No.
both sides. There you go.
Both sides.
With
You
a little
should.
biplane and goggles ready to fly.
That's nice. Thanks for that, Christy. I will just pause it. Can you see the timer? So you bought it. I put it the timer for 2 minutes
48
and
seconds. Woo!
48 seconds left still. So that's congrats to you.
Yes.
Well, I should have taken it down to a minute, I feel like now.
Yeah, the reason I have a puppy suitcase is I have 3 dogs. I brought 2 from America, and then I've adopted a rescue here as well in Portugal. So I'm all about the puppies.
Right.
They're
Nice.
taking a nap right now.
Nice sunny weather, enjoying the weather as well.
Yes.
I've made you talk to me in this weather.
Perfect.
Right. So what are your travel plans for next 3 to 5 years? And did you have ever like a checklist or a bucket list that you want to tick off, and have you done that? And what's your plan for next 3 to 5 years?
So my bucket list recently, yeah, so I wanted to go back to Jordan. I was there many years ago, and then I was invited by friends, former colleague, and his wife, to join them in Jordan last October. And I'm like, are you kidding? I'm going. And I'd already planned a trip to Morocco. So there you go. Yeah, so I was going like a month. It was great. And then I went back again, after meeting everyone. It's like, I'm coming back. And so just did that in February. And then in March, again, I was in India because I kept saying, I got to get back to India. I got to go. So this is for a wedding. And, it's a little confusing. And I didn't get to go to all the places.
Yeah.
But I saw everybody in the Bangalore area, or they came to Bangalore as a kid.
Yeah.
But I'm planning on going back in the fall, like maybe November or early December. For just a visit, for like 3 weeks. And then I need to go back to Indonesia to see my people there very much. I really want to do that. So maybe that'll be February or March or something. Those are good times for me to travel, because in April through October and into early November, I have guests here most of the time. But I am going to London in July for a weekend for a concert.
Right.
In London, and I'm couch surfing there. People come here and
Very
couch.
nice. Yeah. In England, it's very, very common. I think if you come over and if you come north by any chance around Leeds or some. How many days are you in UK?
I arrive Saturday afternoon. The concert is Sunday evening, and then I leave Monday morning.
Oh, too tight.
Too tight. Yeah, and it's at the.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we will plan something specifically so we can meet somewhere around the world. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, good. So is health and fitness is important for your travel journeys before you plan something? Is it very important? Is it important?
I believe yes. And but by fitness, I don't mean that you can, climb mountains specifically, but there are stairs, and sometimes you have to take your luggage up the stairs. The metro doesn't have a lift for you today for whatever reason, no matter why, it just isn't. And when you go to a village, there's no public transportation, and you want to go up and see the things, see the cathedral on the top or the temple on the top, and you want to see and do. And one of the things that people have, at least people from North America, I don't know, I don't know about the other people, but in North America, they have a thing, you got to go. You got to see. And they never, you just don't stop and have a coffee or stop and have a juice. You know, it's like we have 30 minutes for lunch and then we're back on to the next
Go.
site. We're going to climb, we're going to go to the Eiffel Tower and we're going to go see this and that. And that's all they do. And they don't even know where they've been, except for they have photos of these sites, but they haven't experienced them.
What do you mean by experience them? Like you want to mix up with the people? Do you want to just soak into the moment? What do you think?
Yes, soak in the moment. Maybe it means mix with the people. Maybe it means just observe. And by just, I don't mean it as a minimizer. I mean it as simply observe. Where are you? Who's around? What are the sounds? When we first got on, before my camera came on, you said, "Oh, I hear your birds."
Oh yes, definitely. That's a nice bird chirpings around you, and
Yes.
that resonates human nature. I think just the sounds in life is very important, I believe. Yeah,
But
nice.
to really know where you are. Really know, you know, because I've been to temples and had people go by, pew 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 pew. It's like,
Yeah.
and then they stop and take a picture, and then they stop and take a picture, and then they go, and then they're on the bus and they're gone, and
Well,
you know,
yeah.
30 minutes more, and you've had an experience.
True.
For the experience, not to click and go.
Yeah. Do you do anything for fitness though? Like, do you do something every day? These days, yoga is very sort of coming into light with everyone's life. Or do you try? Do you walk and make yourself fit every day for your travels? What do you do?
Well, like we mentioned, I live on 30 acres and it's considered a farm. Like, you know, that my tax bracket is that of a farm.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got a hill, it's got a slope. So for me to go anywhere, to get up to my house, or to get down to the outdoor kitchen, or down to the cabins, I mean, I got to come back up, you know? So I'm up and down a lot, but I also, I live very near the ocean. You can hear the ocean. From this side of my house, not so much, but on the other side of the house, you know, you can hear the ocean waves.
So how many kilometers would you say you travel every day?
Oh, it depends. I just had 10 guests here, and I probably traveled at least 15 those days.
Right. You're definitely doing your 10,000 steps every day.
Oh yeah. That random number. Yes, clearly. But on a day like today, I'm doing laundry and fetching and stuff. It's probably 5-6 kilometers.
That's still a lot. Not a lot of people do that, especially if you're working in a place like content creators or people in technology. They are like restricted to a place for at least 10 hours a day.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's nice.
When I worked in technology, though, I walked down to the bus stop. I got on the bus and then I walked up the hill, and Seattle's famous for rain, but also hills like San Francisco, very hilly, very steep. And then I worked in this huge building. The last building I worked in is huge, you know, and it took quite a bit just to even get to the first elevator. And I took the second elevator up to the 72nd floor. And then to go to lunch, then we went down and down, then we went down the street and up and over, and, you know.
Sure. Yeah, you know, it keeps you fit. That's the main thing. And you can travel. I think for me, one of the personal barriers is once I had some back issues, and then I realized it restricts me quite a bit to choose a place where I can go, where I can't go. But once I got fit, then I started traveling again. And I think I've tried to maintain something like a yoga and the walking lifestyle, sometimes gym if I can. But it's good to have that fitness regime, I believe.
Yes. And because if you're not comfortable walking, you know, reasonably long distance, you're not going to see the things, or it's going to be hard. It's going to be a chore.
True.
Yes.
True. Right, we are coming almost to the end of the show. Is there any advice you want to give people who are watching around your travel experiences, your journey of life? Any kind of advice you would like to give them?
So, since we had our first conversation, I've been thinking about this. It's people talk about, oh, I'm not brave enough. I have too much fear to do what you do, whatever that is. And here's what I think. It's not fear. It's, do I trust myself? It's really trust, because fear, you can really amplify, you can really go there with fear. But the fear comes when I don't trust myself enough to do the things I want to do.
Mhm.
So if I were to, in the advice giving business, here's the advice I would give. Trust yourself.
Yeah, trust is
Just,
important. I
it's
agree.
just travel. You're getting on an airplane, you're getting on a boat, you're getting on a whatever, and people do it every day. It's okay.
True.
It's
True.
okay.
Do
Just
do you
do it.
want to do you want to talk, like you say now that you've given an advice, trust? It wasn't in my notes, but I would like you to speak about get free to get it done. A little bit
Ah,
about that.
my book. So I wrote
There
a
you
book.
go.
I wrote a book during lockdown because people were asking me before I left the US, and after I got here to Portugal. Wait, you're moving from the US to Portugal? What
Why?
what are you doing? What? Yeah. And then I would explain what was going on, what I was doing, and their question was always, every single time, how'd you come up with that? And the reason they ask how'd you come up with that is because they want to come up with something too. They want to have an idea of something they can create as well. So
True.
it's not that I got tired of answering the question, but I kind of got
But
tired of answering the question. So during lockdown, I wrote the book. It's only 104 pages and includes 4 recipes.
oh, nice.
All vegetarian. But
Food is a connecting element in people's life, I would say. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
huge, culturally
Definitely.
huge. Yeah, connecting. If you can't talk, you can eat.
Oh yeah,
So good.
definitely.
So the book answers the question, how did you come up with that, and explains, that we went to Mexico when I was 4, and then my parents retired there, but in the meantime, my family owned a resort on a little island, and I was the head maid, and I cleaned 16 cabins and lots of bathrooms in a campground. Ugh. I was 17, and that's not what I wanted to be doing.
No.
But in the meantime, I learned hospitality. So here I am.
Yeah, you've been to like Airbnb host and now again in the same business. I think, how is the difference in nature of an Airbnb and being your own owner now, like owner of things? And Airbnb is, I think, a little controlled by Airbnb as a company, right?
Yes, and I also got very good discipline from them regarding their standards. And their standards were my standards, but they also do a tremendous amount of training is available for hosts. Not everyone's a host. Some people own a bunch of buildings and have a company manage them. That, in my mind, is not being a host. Being a host is being present with the people and providing the things for their travel to make them safe and comfortable and feel loved. And I got real clear about a lot of things through the Airbnb experience. And I attended some things. Well, I got to travel. So
Well, yeah.
yeah, I got to travel. So I attended a international conference. The first one they had in San Francisco. Then the next year there was one in Paris. And, yeah. And I've got to meet
Nice.
some travel celebrities as a result of that. Being a super host, got invited to do certain things. Yeah, it was great. So
Nice.
my model is identical to Airbnb. I'm just not on the platform.
Right. Okay. Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, can I share your social handle for people to reach out to you in Porto Covo? And
Hmm.
the
Please.
last thing is there any discount that is coming from you under the description of this video for your cabins? People can go and watch the description section and we can decide how much discount we give them.
Well, yeah, and it depends on what time of the year. So, for example, we have a huge world music festival here for 11 days in July, end of July the 22nd to the whatever, and July 22nd this year is when it starts in Porto Covo. It's free. The venue is free, but we all get full up then. So
Yeah. Are you comfortable with the social handles around you and
sure,
for the video?
absolutely, and I'm
Right.
happy to do a friends and family.
Right. Yeah. Uh, and thanks for that. Thanks for taking out time, Christy. It was a nice conversation I could ever have in today's sunshine, looking at your background, birds chirping. And thank you very much for taking out time.
Thank you so much,
Thank
Dinesh.
you.